What is going on, guys? So today I kind of wanted to go over some of the new item sets that are coming out next patch, give some of my initial feedback and thoughts on them, kind of discuss them a little bit, and see which ones that I'm potentially going to be using the next patch and some ideas that I have. I'm not going to go into the card game. I'm going to do that for a separate video, probably for this weekend. Need to take some time just to think about it because, yeah, okay. Anyways, let's go over the new sets because this is what's really important for the PvP community and the only thing that we honestly have kind of new coming this patch. So the first set we have is Blessing of High Isle. So this gives you max magicka, max recovery, max magicka. When you're healed while in combat, increases your weapon and spell damage by 369 for 5 seconds. So this is a unique buff. I wonder if this procs on yourself. So if you heal yourself, if this works. If it does, it may be pretty decent, but it only lasts for 5 seconds, so it's really not a high uptime. You have something like Olorine that's a little bit more uptime, Rallying Cry. I just don't maybe see this really going into the PvP meta at all. Maybe in group play, but you have to be the one wearing this set, I guess, so it's not really as good as somebody proccing this on you, giving you the buff. That's kind of the difference. So I just don't see that being too popular. Coral Riptide. This is pretty interesting. I don't know exactly how we're going to be messing with this yet, but this is a trial set. Critical chance, offensive pen, and this is the non-perfected version. I don't know what the perfected version gives you, but the 5 pieces is what's really important. So it increases your weapon and spell damage by up to 740 based on your missing stamina. This could be interesting to try and just see, because this is quite a bit of damage scaling. Just have to test this on the PTS to really see kind of what it's like. 740 is quite a bit high, so definitely have to take a look at it. But your stamina has to be low. That's the issue with it. And sometimes, in some situations, it's hard to say. It definitely wouldn't be good on Stamsork. It would probably be, I want to say, a Stamcrow type of set, if anything. They have good stamina sustain, but they're just jump up, you know, without like obviously like a potion or something. So this could be very interesting on something like that because they do have inherent tankiness. So they may be able to try this out and maybe use this. I don't know. The Dova Ra Sabaton. So this looks like a bombing set for tanks, kind of. It kind of looks pretty interesting. So while sprinting, you gain a stack of Draconic Seed every 0.5 seconds. So you have to sprint. You gain 2 stacks every second, pretty much. So the stacks give you 660 armor. I think this gives you close to like 13,000 resistances. Pretty much maxed out. So if you sprint for, I guess it would be 20, so it'd be 10 seconds, I want to say. You're going to get 13,000 armor, which is quite a long time, honestly. But you could possibly see this being used. I actually just thought of this just now. On a tank vampire. Because you can go into stealth and just sprint while in stealth and you gain these stacks. Anyways, that's besides the point. But upon stopping, so once you sit still, it does AoE physical damage per stack. So 170 damage per stack, 20 stacks. Could be pretty decent damage. You retain the speed stacks for the armor, but cannot gain any new ones. So you get the armor mitigation. Could be pretty interesting on the Stamsork. Yeah, so wow, at 20 stacks, this damage will also stun for 3 seconds. So it also stuns as well. So it's pretty interesting. But the damage is scaling off of your resistances. That's really nothing crazy. But yeah, we'll have to test this out and see how this goes. Because this could be pretty interesting bombing type of spec. Like a tank and spank bomber build. Bomber tank. I don't even know. Could be interesting though. The Druid's Braid. So I've seen pictures of this in a 12-piece set. I've seen this in pictures of a 5-piece set. I don't know. It just gives health, magicka, and stamina. Health, magic, stamina. Up to the 12-piece. I don't know what this thing will do, honestly. We'll have to see on kind of the stats on what it looks like, because that's really what matters. Because this looks maybe good on picture, but it only has... if it goes up to 12 pieces, that is. Maybe this is just for the 1 piece. This is going to replace trainee. It just depends on if this is more health or not. It just depends. But... yeah, so I think this is crafted. I'm not 100%. It looks like it's crafted. People have said it was. It could be interesting, but yeah, maybe just for the 1 piece and that's it, honestly. Not even for anything else. Yeah. So left-hander's War Girdle. So dodge roll no longer evades attacks and instead grants a damage shield that absorbs 21,000 damage over 1 second. The damage shield is unaffected by Battle Spirit. So that last part is very, very important. So dodge roll no longer evades attacks. So the cruxus of this set, if it's going to be viable or not, is whenever you roll dodge, do you actually do the roll dodge animation, or is it different? Do you input the roll dodge button and it does nothing except for pops up a damage shield? Because the 1 second is decent and all. I mean, it's a pretty massive shield, but this is only for 1 second. This will have to be a felt type of thing because you don't dodge damage. You take all the damage whenever you roll dodge. I think it's possibly could be used on mag sorks. I mean, this is obviously a no-brainer. Sounds like it. It just depends, because this set will also negate damage of dots as well. So you have a poison injection on you. If you have, I don't know, anything, like any type of dot effect, this will mitigate that damage. So you can maybe roll dodge vigor, but you don't roll dodge damage anymore. So you can still get stunned, I would say, by attacks like end cap through roll dodge, which would kind of be not very good. So it's hard to say exactly what this is going to entail or what this is going to do. It looks interesting, and it's definitely worth trying out and seeing kind of what we can come up with. I wouldn't say I'm sold on it just yet, but it looks pretty interesting. It looks pretty unique. I mean, 21,000 damage shield is quite a bit high, and I don't know what this scales off of, or this is just the basic number, but we will have to test it and see. Mora's Whispers. So you gain critical chance and 10% increase inspiration, basically XP bonuses. So that's really irrelevant to PvP. Honestly, here's one I'm kind of interested in and excited for. I don't know what to think of this yet. So this gives you a lot of stats. It gives you weapon and spell damage, 3,800 armor, 300 of each recovery, 2,600 of each stat. But while you have this equipped, you are unable to bar swap. So you are basically a 1-bar build. There's a few things that this is possibly going to be used on. Obviously werewolves. I think with this set, this can make werewolves freaking bonkers. But the issue with werewolf is out of werewolf form. You know, you only have access to a full mantra set or just a 1-piece with a 5-piece set. So I would assume that most people will go with a 5-piece set over a monster set in this situation, since you cannot swap bars. So I think this is mainly going to impact PvE mostly. But for werewolves, I think this is going to be one of the best in slot mythics for them, because obviously they're only on 1 bar anyways. And that mag recovery is going to be bonkers. So you could see something like this set with a 5-piece Clever Alchemist for werewolves or something like that to get some insane damage, maximum health potential with like a 1-piece magma or something, right? That's what I would see, possibly. I don't know. It's worth some testing and looking at for sure. Heck, even just regular 1-bar build mag sorks or something like that could be pretty fun. So this looks interesting. I don't really know what to think about this just yet, but I think there's some viability with this in PvP. Order's Wrath. So this gives you critical chance, weapon to spell damage, critical chance, and then critical chance on the 5-piece. And then increases your critical damage and critical healing done by 10%. So this looks just like the Senchei set, but it has no critical chance on the 5-piece and less critical damage and critical healing. So yeah, this is kind of annoying. I wish they wouldn't bring sets out that are basically the exact same buffs, just add a new 5-piece bonus. This isn't really all that is. It's just kind of annoying. But so here is one of the new trial sets. Increases your weapon and spell damage by 180 for you and up to 11 other group members based on the number of group members that are alive. So if everybody's alive, it's going to increase their damage by 180. I guess it may scale up. I don't know exactly. So increase your weapon spell damage by 180 for you and left group members based on the number of group members that are alive. So it increases your damage resistances for non-player enemies by up to 66% for you and up to 11 other group members. This set is kind of confusing. Have to see what this actually looks like. But it looks like more of a trial set. I don't know if this is going to be used in PvP or not, honestly. So here is the perfected Riptide version with the offensive pen. So that could be pretty good for Stamcrows. Definitely have to wait to see on what this set kind of entails. definitely interested on it. I think this could be a sleeper PvP set for just the damage, because think about this, you're always, if you're outnumbered, you're always going to be getting forced to be lower on stamina, and it depends on kind of what percentage, like how much damage you're going to get and where you're more than likely going to be at in most situations. This is definitely worth a look and a try, because this could be pretty big. It doesn't have to be any type of PvE people as well. You don't have to be in PvE to get the damage, so this is interesting for sure. Heck, even for magic build as well. All right, so there's that same trial tank sets. So here's the healer set. So casting an ultimate ability while in combat grants 28% of the cost of the ultimate that you would use to 11 other group members. So it gives them ultimate. Yeah, so I guess it gives them ultimate. I guess, cool. All right. Okay, that's nothing crazy, I guess. Whirl of the Depths. So critical chance, and when you deal damage with a light attack, you apply Whirl of the Depths to the target, dealing frost damage over 8 seconds. When this effect ends, a 5-meter whirlpool is created under the target for 6 seconds and deals frost damage every 1 second. So that's a long effect. 8 seconds, 6 seconds. So that's very high uptime. Very high uptime. That's going to be able to proc some other effects that are probably going to be more PvE focused. Because having a dot could be decent. When you deal damage with a light attack, you apply. Okay, so this is a guaranteed apply. And it's going to deal a frost dot. And when the effect ends, a 5-meter whirlpool is created on the target for 6 seconds. So this could be interesting. Because it put it under the target so that it would follow them. So it's going to still deal dot damage as well. Definitely have to see what the set does for sure. Could be pretty interesting. Because it got a great 4-piece as well. 2, 3, or 2 and a 4-piece. Could be viable for PvP. We'll have to see. Pillager's Prophet. Casting an ultimate ability while in combat grants you... Okay, that's the ultimate thingy. Here's another mythic that I think is going to be pretty overpowered. And some of these, obviously, I think will get adjusted before the live server hits. I don't understand this one all the way yet. So while at full health, you gain 40% damage resistances. So I don't know if this is like percent mitigation or if this is like actual resistances. I don't know yet. But we'll be looking at this on Monday. But after taking damage while at full health in combat, so you take damage, you gain Serpent's Rebuke for 10 seconds. So this gives you a snare by 40%, but you gain Major Berserk and Major Courage, increasing your damage done by 10% and giving you 430 weapon and spell damage. The damage resistance does not apply while Serpent's Rebuke is active. So you don't get the damage resistances and the Berserk and Courage. You get one or the other. So you gain... I just don't know how that's... Sounds like a Magsork set, because if you think about it, you have damage shields. You're going to be taking less damage while you have a damage shield on you. So this is going to make... This is actually kind of pretty big, if you think about it, because Magsorks with shields and whatnot don't take health damage. So if they do take health damage, they're going to get snared, but they have streak, but they're going to get more damage as well. But while you're at full health, you're going to take less damage. So pair this setup with Iron Blood could be very disgusting for Sorks. Very powerful, because they're going to be taking 40% less damage. I don't know if it's going to be resistances or what. I don't know. But then they're also going to be having Iron Blood as well, and we all know what Iron Blood does. Gives them, you're going to take a 50% snare. So you're going to get a 10% more snare. People already run Iron Blood in the first place. But you're going to take 30% less damage on top of that. So that could be pretty nasty for some high tankiness, because you get Major Courage and Major Berserk, which is insane. So there's going to be some massive damage. I don't know exactly what we're going to run with this or not, but that looks pretty insane. Serpent's Disdain. So we got maximum stamina, health, and magicka, and then increases the duration of status effects you apply by 16 seconds. So this is going to be, I would like to say, all the status effects, burning, chilled, concussed, brittle, all of those effects, I would say. would be, you know, those effects. I wonder, I don't think so, but it would be like vulnerability, like the major vulnerabilities. I'm not sure if that's considered as a status effect or not. If it is, it's kind of busted. Having a major vulnerability could be pretty disgusting for like group play, but for solo play, I don't see this being too hot of a set off the rip. Steadfast metal. So this gives you stamina recovery, max stam, max stam. And for the 5-piece, while you have a food buff active, reduces the cost of your core combat ability by 25%. So this is just like that CP slottable. It's going to give you the core combat abilities cost reduction. So this is actually pretty big. Block, roll dodge, CC break, sprint, I think are all core combat abilities. I may be missing one. But this could be pretty big. Maybe for some tanks or something like that. I don't think it's going to be used for 1vxing, but who knows? If you can get to a negative cost to block or something like that, it's going to be pretty gnarly. So this will definitely have to be a set that possibly used for tanks and whatnot. Don't know yet. So Sistra's Scowl. So this gives you stamina, health, and stamina. That's some interesting 2 and 4 pieces. But when you bash an enemy, you place Sistra's Scowl on them for 10 seconds. So whenever you bash, when hit by a light attack, a target of Sistra's Scowl takes frost damage up to once every second. That's interesting. So you bash something, and then when they're hit by a light attack, a target with this effect takes frost damage up to once every second. So this could be actually, I have to see what this scales off of, because this could be pretty disgusting for dot build DK in your face type of playstyle. It sounds weird to give max stamina and 2 stats of max stamina health. This could be very interesting. Definitely have to try this out and see how this goes. And here is the perfected version. So that is all for the new sets. I'll quickly go over the ones again that I'm kind of looking at right now. I want to check out this Druids mainly. I'm probably going to do videos on some of these sets first. I definitely want to try out that the sprinting armor buff thing, the War Girdle, the 1-bar setup, and the Sea Serpent's Coil. Those are going to be the main ones, I would say, and maybe this bash set. But yeah, guys, definitely some interesting set bonuses and some items. Definitely some of the weirdest we've seen. Something I do hope that doesn't happen, though, is I hope these mythic items are not behind a paywall for the Tales of Tribute. I hope this is just... Well, we're still going to have to buy it anyways, I guess. But I hope we don't have to do the Tales of Tribute to get this. If we do, that's going to freaking suck and it's going to be stupid. But I doubt it. I doubt they would do that. If they do that, then they're freaking dumb, I guess. But alright, guys. Well, that is it for this video. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.